right now there's a lot of distraction with AI. Microsoft's talking about Copilot almost nonstop. It's virtually
everybody's talking about
the only thing they're
AI.
pushing. Whenever I log into any other customers, tenants, and I go navigate around their world, I'm seeing new and different Copilot things every day.
We use ActiveCampaign, and AI is a big, like, prominent when you log in. Hey, we've got this new AI feature. Every newsletter I see is all about the AI, like AI. So are people getting distracted? What are some common things that are distracting people? And what's the truths behind those statements and things that people are talking about?
Sure. So there's a lot of hype.
Yep.
And we're going to try and kind of dispel some of the myths involved in that hype and talk about like where the rubber meets the road, like how we can really use AI, how we can be successful with it, how we can use it in our daily life.
Yep.
Cool. Makes sense. Let's jump right in. One of the first myths that's getting a lot of hype, especially lately, like literally in the last couple of weeks, we're middle of July here, is AI is going to take your job.
Yep. There's a lot of fear mongering, or people are getting fearful themselves and behaving in weird ways because they're afraid that AI is going to take their job. And there is truth to the fact that AI is going to help. If AI didn't help and automate things, it wouldn't be a thing, right? Like we wouldn't be talking about it if it wasn't able to automate some things. But the reality is AI is only so good. It can only do so much. It's really good. So for example, in the communication collaboration space, it's really good at editing content, at refining content, at gathering some rough drafts. It doesn't replace somebody who's an expert at the content. It doesn't replace somebody who is creating original thought, right? People who are doing that today, they're not going to lose their jobs. It's not going to go away, right? What will happen is the editing is going to be easier. They won't need to send it to an editor, or they won't need to spend so much time editing, and so they'll have more time to do other things. That's the reality.
Yeah. When I think about building apps and how AI can be used in building apps, like, is there going to be a robot that sits at my desk and writes the code? No. Can I use an AI assist to write some code? Absolutely, I can. Is AI going to ultimately figure out the purpose or the why behind the thing that needs to be built? Probably not.
Probably not.
Right, and that's still important. That's why we still need a human involved in that process.
Yeah, it's also one of the reasons that Microsoft named their tool what they named it, Copilot, right? It's not something that's going to just...
Yeah, not pilot.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Actually, when we come up with our own AI product, I've got an idea. We'll call it Pilot.
Yep.
Yeah. And then everyone will know.
Because it'll be the best one. It'll actually do everything.
If it's Matt and Mike, it's going to be the best.
Yeah.
All right, so our next statement, our hype statement, is AI requires a prompt engineer to be effective. So that doesn't mean an engineer that's on time.
No, it means there were literally job postings for people who their only skill was prompting AI. They knew how to prompt AI really, really well. They didn't have necessarily the subject matter expertise or these other things, but they're experts at prompting AI. And my feedback on that is that was a fad. It's is it going to be a category, a skill that's required to get a job? Yeah, 100%. Mm-hmm. But that skill is overshadowed entirely by your expertise in the subject matter, right? Mm. That is going to be the primary thing. Do you know about coding, right? Like if you're talking coding, mm-hmm. Do you know about communications? Do you know about the topic that you're trying to get a job to do? That's going to be the overarching thing that's most important. Prompting is going to be high up there, but this concept that what's most important is that you know all the secret code to prompt appropriately. That's just not true.
So it's very interesting. I connect this very strongly with what, in our field, what we've learned over the years has been helpful to us, which is we've become very good at keyword searches using Google, mm-hmm. Bing, whatever your search engine is. Mm-hmm. We've figured out how to enter the right phrases so that we find the best response in the quickest possible manner. And a prompt engineer is simply someone who is adept at creating prompts that would return similar results. And one of the things that I see going on is with AI getting better, You don't need to be an engineer anymore.
It's not a specific.
Right.
Yeah, it's
the
not
AI has
unique.
gotten better so that those of us, especially if you're any good at all at keyword searches, for example, just think for 5 minutes about what the question is that you're trying to ask, and that domain knowledge that you have about whatever the field is that you're in or whatever the thing is that you're researching is the thing that's going to enable you to build that prompt, assemble that prompt or keyword search.
This is such a bit of a fad. Like people are worried about silly things in this regard, right? Prompting is really important. It's really, really important. There's no doubt about it in my mind that, if you're a knowledge worker, if you're a coder, a developer, understanding what that means and how to prompt is really important. But what's more important is to be a subject matter expert, because I can train someone to be decent at AI, and all you really need is to be decent, right?
Very good. So that kind of takes us right into our next statement, which is AI is always wrong. So in speaking about the expertise, the subject matter expert, right? There's this, like, I don't want to use AI because it's giving me the wrong answer all the time.
Yeah, there's a bunch of different nuances to this that are very interesting. I've heard a bunch of organizations who are like, if AI can't be 100% accurate, we shouldn't use it at all. Or, it's always wrong, so I can never trust it, so I don't ever want to use it. Or it was wrong and led me down a bad path, and so then, I'm mistrusting it, et cetera. AI isn't always wrong. If it was, nobody would be using it. It is wrong sometimes. It's why that subject matter expertise is so important. It's why that's the most valuable thing, because you need to be able to fact check, gut check the results coming back. But quite frankly, if it was always wrong, there wouldn't be value. And there's lots of studies, tons of studies that are out there today about the value that AI is bringing. Obviously, another thing that a lot of people don't understand is like ChatGPT, Copilot, they're going to be wrong more often than a targeted, focused AI experience. So that's why a lot of people are talking about agent or agentic AI, right? The concept of taking this, because the deal is Copilot and ChatGPT are broad. They're very broad, open-ended. It's up to you, the prompt person, to create a prompt that puts all the gates and controls, et cetera, on your prompt. An agent comes with some stuff built in, right? And that stuff that's built in is going to give people who are looking that have a niche question a better experience than if they were to use that broad AI. And so doing that is going to make the experience even better, right? Yeah. Saying, hey, don't look at all the internet, just look at this piece of the internet, or look at this piece of my intranet, in the case of Copilot, right? That can really improve those results, get you better feedback, allow you to have a much better experience. And so, what AI are you talking about? Are you talking about a generic AI that you put somebody that has no concept of how to prompt in front of to ask a question? Yeah, it's not surprising. You're probably going to get something incorrect. Are you asking it something that's really complicated, that's not well documented out in the world? That's going to be the place that it fails the most, right? Where it has to make a bunch of inferences and assessments about what this content is. It's all about how you're using it, and there's tons of scenarios where it's going to work beautifully.
Right. So don't ask ChatGPT where the vacation request form is.
Yeah.
Right.
That won't work.
Yeah, right. So you need a more narrowly focused thing, something that's maybe an HR agent inside of your organization, which is something that you could build and scope appropriately so that it would be useful for your end users.
Yeah.
Which takes us right into the next thing, which is AI and existing tools.
Yeah.
Right. So there are a lot of tools, particularly in M365. We talked about ChatGPT. There are a lot of tools out there. The features of Copilot are now coming right into some of the tools that we're familiar with, even things like Word and Excel. So if you've ever struggled with building formulas in Excel, guess what? Copilot is now there to aid. Among other things, Power Platform, Power Automate, Power Apps, all of these different places. Let's talk about.
Is AI going to replace all those tools?
That is somebody's question, I'm sure.
Yeah, you answer it. What do you think?
I don't think so. I don't think it's going to replace the tools per se. I also don't think it's going to replace the people that engineer the tools into what they need to do. So if you think the scenario that you were just talking about, where you need to narrow the subject matter, put some boundaries around it so that you get better answers, for example, someone still needs to do that. And the content that feeds that, let's
Needs
say
to live somewhere.
your HR site, for example, needs to exist somewhere. Yeah. It just can't divine it out of ether.
The other thing is that AI isn't really good at generating information in a format that is best suited to communicate the information for a very specific topic in a consistent way.
Yeah.
And so you're still going to want that thing to direct you to the source of truth. You know, you want it to have a repository, a source that it's pulling that information from, which is still going to be in SharePoint, or it's going to be a Word document, or it's going to be a PDF, or it's going to be a PowerPoint presentation. When you think about Microsoft's approach to it, what they want to do is put Copilot and AI on the front end. So they want Copilot to be helping you create and generate and manage and, leverage all of these things. But they're really still going to be dealing with all of these different tools and platforms that are the core content repositories and content formats.
So what I just heard in that is Copilot is going to help me create the content that I put on my intranet, author pages, for example. And then Copilot might also help me discern, review, analyze, investigate, interrogate that same content in order to answer questions for my end users. And maybe just take them to the page, right? For more detail or whatever
that's their vision. That's what they're seeing this going in the future.
So intranets are still going to be a thing. They're not going to be replaced.
Yeah, I don't see them being replaced anytime soon. The organizations that are having the best luck using AI have things like an intranet, have systems that have well-organized knowledge sources. That's one of the core things that are required to create AI, right? AI has to have a repository of information that it's pulling from. And if you don't have that well-organized, if you don't have that in a system that can be accessed, you're kind of in trouble. If you've just got a shared file or shared drive with 5,000 documents in it in a folder structure, it's going to be a challenge for you to leverage AI.
All right, so let's wrap this up. Yeah, so Copilot, other AI tools, they're helpers. Not magic pills. Which, by the way, AI has been around a long time. Like, I don't know.
A long time.
You've been using a Maps app on your phone, right?
To
like tell you where to go. That's AI, y'all. If you didn't know it. So it's been around. It's been helping us for a long time. It's going to continue to do so. But it's not going to take over. It's not going to replace humans.
Not anytime soon.
Right.
It's got to get way better.
And my belief, one of my strongest beliefs is human connection, human relationship is the most valuable thing in the universe, by the way. And that's
getting up on your soapbox.
You bet. That's not going to go away.